Because mine went right to it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It didn't go to it because you automatically signed in on your phone. So did it go right to it?
Uh-huh. Does it supposed to be in Hangout or Google?
It's a hangout. But because that link, that's a hangout, so it should be taking you right to Google. Now, if it's taking you to the Google Hangout, but if it's taking you to Google, is it asking you to put in your email?
This right here says, it says I'm signed in.
Let me see.
Okay, but then they're going to ask you, do you see something on the screen where it says, do you agree to it? You have to put that stick and then say you're going to join in the Hangout.
Zakiya, I sent you another YouTube link, so you can go right in on YouTube. See if maybe that'll help her.
Okay.
Because it's broadcasting.
It's on Google Plus. It takes me straight to my Google Plus. Right.
Okay, I'm just sending you another link. Hold on. It's a YouTube. It's the actual live link. Oh. Wait a minute. What is it?
Okay, got it. Because he did it again. He went black again. I asked you to join again. And you have to check that you have read and understand the information about Google Plus Hangout.
Okay.
Right there. And then you say, okay, I got it. You click that again. And it says, Rhonda's not in the circle.
Okay, try that when I just gave you.
This is so dark.
Yeah, because I don't have a light over here. I need to put one over here.
Okay,
I think I hear you. It's showing Brenda twice. It took you away.
Yeah.
There you said it says you're on here. Well, because I don't see you.
I see you.
I see you.
Okay. Yeah, because it doesn't show it on at all. Zara, now you'll have to mute your phone for a little bit. Hit the mute button. So that way when we get started, it won't pick up your background or anything. Yeah. Hold on, because I'm trying to help somebody else get in. But then my computer saying my plug-in crashed, so I went to download something, said I needed, and that wasn't successful, so don't know what I'm doing. I'm so sorry. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Yes, I excuse my hand because my tree sticking up my teeth.
Okay, Beth says she's there. I guess she did the YouTube. She said, okay, that works. Just sorry I can't chat, but I'm here to listen anyway. So she used the YouTube.
Okay.
She can. I guess she can text if she has questions. We'll probably give it a couple more minutes, like 2 more minutes, just to give people an opportunity to get through the.
Okay.
Is Larry still on?
Yeah, she probably on mute.
I'm listening to the picture and for sure.
Yeah, that's why I'm wondering if it did that because she is on her phone as opposed to being online. I'm trying to see because
Well, you can't talk to her. She's still. Yeah, I can talk. I'm on here. I'm on that line.
yeah, it says she's on, yeah, but it's not showing up on the. It should. I thought it would show up down here. Rhonda, does it show you that there's another call on your end because my aunt is also on here as well?
No, I just see myself, you, and your mom. That's
Okay.
it. Now it says one viewer. Now maybe she's counting as a viewer, but I don't see her
Probably
face.
what it is. Yeah. And because she's on her phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then we have some people. It doesn't show us who's live on the YouTube side.
Okay. And that's probably like where Bessie is. That's probably where well, because it's that YouTube link.
Yeah.
Probably coming up there.
I'm gonna put this out on Twitter real fast, and then we'll get started.
Okay. Oh Lord, poor brown sugar.
Okay, hold on. Thank you for being patient, everybody. All right. Okay, I see an interesting light in the background. All right. We are going to get started. We thank you for joining us tonight for our motivational minutes with myself and Zakiya. And I just had to give Zakiya a call because we've been watching each other on Facebook and Instagram and just really both having a passion to get the weight off, lose weight, but also to help others and inspire and encourage and motivate them at the same time. And so this month, October the 1st through the 31st, we have a group called Team Burn It Up on Purpose, which is basically a small group, an accountability group, a group that just comes together and encourages one another. And I started the group on Facebook about 2 years ago when I just knew that I wanted to lose weight. I've wanted to lose weight for years. It's a very interesting story, but you know how you start putting your your foot to the pedal and say, I need to start doing something. And I put the group up and I had a vision for it and I was going to do this whole weight loss program, and it just didn't happen that way. And so one day I was sitting there and I said, okay, well, let me write the vision and the mission for this group. And I felt like God backdoored me because I put everything there and then everything changed and it switched. And so I began to go on a journey, and I thought I was going to get weight loss surgery. And I was going through just all of the motion and you know, process and pre-testing and all of that great stuff. And lo and behold, I lost my job, and I just didn't have insurance and just couldn't go that route. And I was talking to God and pretty upset, with him, like, how did all this happen? I finally, got to the place where I was ready to get this done, and now, that's not my story. And so fast forward, I was introduced to a weight loss program from a lady who actually this week, it's funny, she's on her way to transition to another state and do some great things. But she answered the phone and she told me everything that I needed to know, and I just started to just go and do it. And even before this call, I went out to go walk, and very interesting, God reminded me of the time back in November when I first started. It was November 2012. When I was so heavy, I couldn't even walk to where I was walking to today. And I remembered I was like in pain because I couldn't do that walk. And tonight I was just rolling and, went at it and did 4 miles. And so God is just really, really good, and life has been very interesting, and I've been fortunate to just go through this journey through actually a 12-step program. That's how I lost the weight, and it's been very humbling and very grateful for it all. And so I've been encouraging women to do the same wherever you are, to just get up, get motivated, and start wherever you are and just get moving, because I really believe that for me, I didn't have any health issues, but I had health issues in my family. And it had gotten to the place where every time I went to the doctors, I didn't even want to get on the scale. I would get on the scale backwards in denial. I didn't want to know the numbers. And she was like worried, like, Rhonda, you have diabetes in your family. You are at risk. And I just didn't want that to be part of my story. I knew that there was more purpose in me. So I just began the journey in desperation because I had nothing else left. I've tried so many pills and shakes and all kinds of stuff, and you name it, and I couldn't sustain it. And so, I kept moving forward. Lo and behold, here's 130 pounds later off of my body. And so I've just been helping women do the same thing. And so for this month, we have the sticky note workout challenge, and I found it on Pinterest. And we take sticky notes and we put them up on our wall, and every day that we work out, we take the sticky notes off. And so right now, today, I wanted to do this call with Zakiya so that we could encourage you. It's called Motivational Minutes, and this is just a time for us to just talk about what keeps us motivated, because we have different stories, but we have a similar cause. We want to see the women around us, and not just women, because it's the men, it's the spouses.
I cannot hear her.
You can't hear me? Zakiya, can you hear me?
Me either.
Can you hear me? Hello? Zakiya. All right, let me see. Can you hear me?
Derek, can you hear?
Now what happened? Oh my gosh. What happened? Zakiya Kyles up to chat. Zakiya. Oh, what is going on? Hello?
Okay, I hear you now.
Okay. Did you hear any of it?
No. I saw your mouth moving and you were smiling.
Oh, my word. All right, ladies. Can you believe that? This is what I told you. I was outside praying about all of this.
Yes. It always happens, but we're going to keep it rolling, girl.
I did. Okay. Well, we're going to just start again. I'm going to give y'all the shorter version of all that I said, because I was going in. We thank you for joining us tonight for Motivational Minutes. with myself and Zakiya Kyles of Queenie and Confident, and my name is Rhonda of Positive with Purpose. And I wanted to do this call because we are in the midst of our sticky note workout challenge. I'll show you this is my big sticky note. But for the month of October, we fall off. We have a group called Team Burn It Up on Purpose, and during the winter months, we kind of fall off because it gets cold and you want to stay in the house. And we just have an awesome group of women that we work out with, accountability, and we're moving. And so the sticky note challenge is you actually take sticky notes, you put them on the wall, and every time you work out, you pull a sticky note off. And so it keeps you accountable, it keeps you moving. But why I started this whole challenge and started the group is because I was on a journey to lose weight. And I was actually going to get weight loss surgery. And I had lost my job and was in the midst of testing and everything was going fine. And I actually was just really excited about finally being able to take this weight off. And my doctor was after me because she was like, you know, you're predisposed to diabetes. And I would get on the scale backwards. Can you still hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I would get on the scale backwards, just in denial and wanting to take the weight off. And I was recommended to a program, and it was a 12-step program, and out of desperation, because I didn't have surgery, I didn't have insurance, I just went ahead and did it. And, you know, I'm so grateful for that day. And even when I was out walking today, I was reminded back in November 2012, when I couldn't even walk as far as I did today, I actually walked over to the place where I walked, and I was reminded, you know, of that time. Remember how hard it was for you to even get down the street because all of the weight that was on your back. And I was just grateful today. And so we started Team Burn It Up on Purpose because it's a small group, so we're able to encourage other women, motivate them. And that's what this call is about today, that we're 12 days into the challenge, and I just want women to stay motivated, to stay encouraged, to be inspired, because even though Zakiya and I have two different stories, I believe our passion is still the same, and it's to make sure that women, and not just women, men, the men that surround us, because it's a trickle-down effect. Because even though I lost weight, then my husband started to walk with me, my sons work out with me, my daughter actually had lost 69 pounds before I did. So the whole household as a whole becomes fit. And I believe even when you change your lifestyle, the people around you begin to, it's like who we hang out with is who we become. That's what happened.
Very true.
So, yeah, so we wanted to do this call tonight because Zakiya and I just want to open up and just be very transparent of the struggles, of what inspires us, our heart, you know, if you are dealing with health issues, the benefits of losing weight, and just the fun stuff that happens, and just the things that, you know, I don't know if people even look at it, but to a degree, being obese is like a handicap. There's a lot of things that you don't realize that you can't do until you lose the weight. I mean, you get on the airport, you no longer have to wear these extra straps. You know, there's the time where I would be at the art museum. I'm in New Jersey. Zakiya is out in Georgia, and I would be at the art museum in Philadelphia. And when it was time for me to walk up the steps or walk down the steps, you're dependent on the rail. Now you no longer need the rail. So it's just so many mindsets that you even have to get over in this whole weight loss journey, you know, as a whole. So I want to get out of the way. We'll go back and forth, but I want to give Zakiya an opportunity to tell her story and her passion, and then we'll open it up for questions and answers. And we have some giveaways too at the end of the call. So thank you for joining us. We'll be here for, you know, about maybe another, well, we'll see how long it goes. We have an hour, so. But Zakiya.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Good. Thank you for the opportunity to share, Rhonda. I appreciate what you're doing with your journey by being an example, and how you are modeling the behavior day in and day out with your habits. Because that's what it is. It's not a matter of trying to get rid of bad, but it's a matter of more so trying to develop some newer habits that become a part of a new lifestyle. That's pretty much what it is. And so I guess I can just kind of, where you want me to actually start? Just start from my why, right?
Your why, definitely.
Yeah. Well, in 2007, when I got ready to move here to Georgia, one of the biggest whys was I heard the dreaded D word, diabetes, and
Yeah.
I was not happy about that. I'd known only maybe one other person in my family, and that was my grandmother who had diabetes, and I witnessed, some of the things that she went through, and I was like, oh, and so fast forward, still probably about a year and a half or maybe even two, um, is when I actually got on diabetic medicine, and from that, probably lost like initial 10 or 15 pounds or something like that. And so from that, it prompted me to actually start working out. And I actually joined like my first um, women's gym. And so from there, it gave me the confidence to actually kind of start working out and getting, a feel for what it meant to actually belong to a gym and what it actually meant to work out and really getting a chance to understand my body and things of that sort. But as we all know that in any particular journey, whether you're looking at your wellness, whether you're looking at, emotional wellness, spiritual wellness, whatever it is, it's a process. It's something that you actually have to take the time to actually to get to the end or to get to that end result. And so it was no different for me. As I said, my journey all started with health, and even with the D word, there's also, the issues with hypertension, as well as heart disease that runs in my family. And so it's almost like, I have every reason in the world to want to take better care, of myself. And, and as the years have gone by, I've actually had the chance to have those opportunities where I've just stayed on the sidelines and didn't do anything. But then came along 2011, and I will never forget this. In December of 2011, I was like, okay, I got to get this together. And so in December 2011, I went to LA Fitness, and keep in mind I'd been to two other gyms prior to that time, and so went to a gym, LA Fitness in particular, and I haven't turned back since. Got really connected with a good trainer, and have just really pushed my way through to, at this point, I believe I've lost like about 57 pounds or so. Now, one of the things I've shared with women when I ask about the pounds, one of the things I don't actually do is talk a whole lot about the pounds lost, because many times as women we get this craze or this OCDness that comes along with measuring ourselves against what that scale says. But in many cases, what we should really look at are other factors by which we can measure ourselves. One of the biggest things that's important to me on my own wellness journey is my quality of life. And when I say the quality of life, just like you were talking about earlier, being able to walk up some stairs and not feel like you're about to pass out, being able to even be in a place where there's stairs and you don't feel like this is something that's conquered you. Early in the fall, I was at the Georgia, what was that, the Phillips Arena, for the Live Your Life tour with Oprah, and I will never forget the feeling I had the day we were leaving out of there, and the way I trekked up the stairs, and the girls that were with me, they were like, "You got those stairs quick," But there was a time, it would have just been pure D, like, you crucify me as opposed to just, letting me having to go up some stairs. And so, I'm thankful to God for those opportunities like that, being able to take walks, and if a mall, if I so choose, even though I did despise malls, taking a walk through a mall, or being on vacation with family, and, you're not needing to have a 5-minute break, every 10 minutes or so, things of that sort. And so the quality of life to me has been very, very important on this particular journey. One of the other things I think is also funny about this journey is that it has also built and given me a level of confidence in some things that I never would have tried. I mean, and one of those is even being at a co-ed gym and being like at what they call mega gyms, like an LA Fitness, where you have, people of like top fitness, shape, who are peak fitness, who are in there and who are, killing it. And to me, where at one point that was intimidation, that's now motivation, and to even have other people witness you coming in there, and then, to come and to say to you, you're doing really good, keep up the good work, because you don't necessarily think people are seeing or paying attention to you, but they do. And, and I have I guess, a personal mission is to really to kind of help with dispelling some of the myths as far as what healthy actually looks like, because when we, especially those of us who are African American women, what a size 12 may look different on a woman who's a size 12 that may be Hispanic or so of that thing. But regardless, either woman can still be healthy. My passion has led me to really rally around other women who are struggling with, and particularly morbidly obesity, and we launched From Stuck to Start with that. From Stuck to Start is a wellness and accountability program, a movement that encourages people to actually get up and get moving, and to taking small, simple steps to help reclaim their lives. And so with that, in April, I became a certified health coach through Fresh Start for Health, which is the program that we use, and which is the program that I use to really help me understand eating and what does it mean to eat whole grains? What does it mean to get my servings of fruit and things? Looking at ways to do various supplements to my food. Looking at alternative ways to cook other than frying and even baking and things. Because one of the biggest misconceptions I think people have on their wellness journey is that with the food that it's nasty or that it's not pleasing at all. But thanks to women like Bess Blanco, I've been able to really learn how to cook and really embrace cooking, whereas I was like, ooh, leave me away from the kitchen. A lot more. And so, I look forward one day to being able to share those meals with my husband. So, we are going to have a healthy home and household. That's a non-negotiable. So, I look forward to being able to do that. But we're just very, very grateful for the different opportunities that have been afforded to From Stuck to Start, just because of one woman sharing her struggle, one woman sharing her journey, just like with you, Rhonda. It's amazing the number of people who have your same pain points, who have, some of those same issues that we've had, and how people open up. And what God has even been doing over the last few months to me is showing me, Zakiya, that your message reaches more than just men. I mean, women, it's reaching men, where men will, say, well, thank you for doing this, and thank you for sharing this, and you're inspiring me, and things of that sort. And it's just a simple fact that one person decides to share their junk, and everybody else, or let me just say, not everybody, but we know that, but a good number of people decide, well, maybe I need to do something about this, and it's no, I always say it's no shade to, this other revolution that's going on, this movement, probably more than anything, of curvy girl pride. And now I honestly will say it's okay to have pride in being a curvy girl, but if you're not a healthy curvy girl, honey, you are sitting up lying to yourself. You just, you lying to yourself. So it comes back to the fact I can have curves, I can have the, I can have the little bump in my belly if I want to. But if that bump is beginning to look like a pothole or mud, a mudslide or whatever, then that's, that's a challenge. That's something that's going on. That's your body is not in divine alignment and health as it actually should be, and so that I'm not gonna, because I can keep talking about that. I'm going to leave that alone. But you know, as a result of really of really building my confidence in the area of fitness, I'm much more apt to try things now. You know, my mom's on the hangout, and you know, and when we were little, because I've always been a fuller size girl. You know, I was always bigger than everybody. You know, always, and so they were kind of like the big girl codes. There's certain things big girls do, certain things big girls don't do. You know, and even at that, you know, although I still believe that there are some things that are appropriate and some that are not, what I do find too is that there are things maybe that I would not have tried that I'm like, oh, let's do this, let's try this, you know, and you know, and that has not always been the case. I would say so far on my journey, like one of the biggest triumphs has been maybe I'm thinking there's probably been, but the most recent one has been when I had the opportunity to climb Stone Mountain. And you never could have told me that I would have been able to climb Stone Mountain. It's in one of our local parks. Stone Mountain Park is here in Georgia, which is on a suburb of Atlanta. But to be able to get to the top of that mountain and just really view the city, you know, and God's glory and His splendor, just like at a mountaintop, it's an experience like none other. And I really just sat there and cried, and I had to take it all in, because it was you never could have told me, not even probably 6 months ago, that that's something that I would have done, you know. And I plan to do, you know, and I really plan to do it again. And, you know, I still have on my bucket list, that was on my bucket list, and I still have a couple other things on my bucket list that I want to do. One of those, I want to do a marathon, just a regular marathon, and walk. And then I also want to be able to do one of those obstacle course type of relays, the ones that are like physically demanding and grueling, kind of almost, you know, where they jumping in mud and things of that sort, those obstacle courses. So I have a desire to do that. So I got a couple of things I need to work on with this hip over here, and we're gonna do that. But believe me, Zakiya Kyles is going to go on an obstacle course, and there'll be nothing like it. Okay.
I hear you. I hear you. You can just hear the not the word excitement, but just life. When I'm listening to you, one of the things that I've gleaned from just the whole experience, it's a journey. It's an experience and a journey. And every day, one of my life statements that I tell people is that I'm reading the book and playing the part at the same time. And that's exciting, because, you know, the chapter changes, and it's like, oh, okay, this is going to be a part of your story. And I tell people, and I shared this with you, in the Bible, you know, when Paul asked to take the thorn out of his side 3 times,
yes.
And I said that to my husband before I lost the weight, because I had a heel spur, and I didn't know what was going on. I woke up like late at night, couldn't get to the bathroom, and I'm like, something's going on, and then they told me that I had a heel spur. When I took off the first 40 pounds, it went away. But I had said to my husband at that point, it was so sore, I would walk in the grass because my foot hurt that bad. The grass would, like, you know, eliminate some of the pain. And I would tell him that story. I'm like, you don't have this problem, but I'm so tired. You know how you're tired of just talking about weight? God, I want to take this weight off. God, help me get the weight off. And I'm just tired of being heavy. And I said, that's my thorn. But this thorn has been one of the most rewarding, and it's crazy to even say that, but it's been rewarding, because when you allow God to take you through the journey and you yield to it, and you do what He's asked you to do, is so many other rewards, not just the rewards of yourself, the rewards of the people that are around you that say, that one lady sent me a text message because she was on a prayer call, and she was like, because of something you said, I decided to get up and do Zumba for the first time, and I felt great, and and I'm so appreciative, you know. And I'm like, she made one step. It just takes one step to get, you know, to a place that you can get healthy. Like you said, the weight loss is just the benefits of it. But when you start to, like, there's this picture on Instagram of the lady like carving the stone off of her body.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, and that's what I hear in you. Like I always say, God, I'm so depressed. I'm not right now, but I was so depressed, like wanted to die, didn't want to live, and always carrying around all of this weight. And now I feel like there is just life, and life more abundantly. Yes. That's what I heard in you.
Yes, because you get that where you feel like I can truly conquer anything. I can truly do anything that I want to do. And it comes from the inside out, you know.
Yeah.
And I honestly believe that when you begin to talk about wellness, that you cannot talk about working on the physical without working on the spiritual. And the first step in that, you know, is getting your head game right. You know, renewing the mind around habits, around, you know, around food, around, you know, your friends, you know, around family, even if that's the case, you know, anything that sets out to deter you or throw you off track from what it is that God is calling you to do, you know, or to work on that thorn in your side, you know. And you mentioned that one of my scripture for the year has been 2 Corinthians 12:9, and I'm going to read it. It says, "But he said, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast more gladly about my weakness, so that Christ's power may live in me. That is why, for Christ's sake, I delight in weaknesses and insults and hardships and persecutions and difficulties. For when I am weak, then I am strong." And this year has become like my scripture of the year. And it's primarily because what I find out is that when I'm open and I'm transparent and I'm sharing, you know, oh, sugar is my booger. And that's my thing. It's my booger, but I honestly am going to conquer that sugar, because I know that what stands between me and getting to where I want to be in optimal health is me dealing with the sugar craving, you know. Yeah. So, you know, I have I'm going to write this book, Rhonda.
Go ahead.
And I told Bess this, you know, because I shared with her during one of our coaching sessions that, you know, I said there is some similarity between sugar, salt, and sex, you know, something. And so the name of my book is, one day I was doing some writing, and I know the name of my book is going to be Sugar, Salt, and Sex, Confessions of a Sugar Addict.
Wow.
And so that is, you know, when it all comes together, and I know it's going to come together, that's going to be there, because that is that combination right there. That combination, they all came off like at, you know, different parts. The last one we're dealing with now is the sugar. We're dealing with the sugar. So, you know, once that whole sugar thing, you know, is conquered, oh, it's gonna be on and popping for real then now, girl. It's gonna be on. It's gonna be on. Won't be able to tell me nothing. But anyways, you know, each and every step of this journey, you know, I give God all glory, because it is all He's doing. This is not, because if it was the case, the kid be eating her some Popeye's chicken and some Mary Max every day.
I know that's
sweet
right.
Potatoes and some what's some other things like macaroni, you know, but and with some Krispy Kreme on the side. But you know, that is not, you know, the case. But in the beginning of this journey, I heard God say very clearly to me that you cannot do what I need you to do and go where I need you to go carrying the weight.
Yes.
I heard that loud and clear, like it was almost ringing in my ear for like almost 6 months, hearing Him say that. And it was not just necessarily the physical weight, but it was also to the emotional weight from like bad relationships and other things that have occurred in my life, disappointments and things of that sort too. And so it was in allowing God to do His work in me that the results have manifested. Yeah, that's just it. And I honestly believe that because you allow that heart work to be done, that soul work to be done, then God allows, He will honor, trust. He will honor that by giving you what you desire. And so I honestly just look forward to what is next and what's in store. You know, with this particular journey, I continue to share and encourage others, not on the other side of my journey, but now, because that is something I battled with. Me and God went at it last year a lot, because it was like, well, why do I have to share now? Why do I have to do this whole from stuck to start thing now? And God said to me that he needs people to see him doing his work through me on this side, not on the other side. And so I've yielded to that and allow him to go where allow him to take me where he wants me to take me, and to share with whom he wants me to share. Believe me, it's an awkward situation when you see a woman who is still considered, you know, morbidly obese, to be talking about health and wellness, you know. But it's so funny, you know, you have people who will do that, and then I've had people go back and say, well, oh, yeah, I checked out your website. You're doing good. I'm like, okay. I almost want to say, you think I'm going to tell you this for nothing? Tell you what I know, you know. And I'll tell you a real short, funny story. Weekend before last, I was at Kroger, and I was looking at a salad, and it had edamame in it and some kale and some other things. And so this lady was asking me, well, how do you know about edamame? And I'm like, and I paused for a moment because I almost gave her what I call a key answer, a real smart answer. And I said, well, I do a lot of reading. And I said, you know, I've lost over 50-some pounds so far. And so I know she says, oh, and, you know, she looks me up and down, and, you know, and I was like, okay, you know. And again, that goes back, you know, like I said, my personal passion with really being able to help dispel the myths as to what, you know, what healthy looks like, or, you know, or a person who is a health coach, what does that person look like, you know, because there are, you know, there's another sister that I've done some work with too. Her name is Ivy, and she too is a full-size woman, but she works with women on body image, you know, and actually teaching women, you know, the art of loving themselves by taking better care of their bodies, sharing her own personal struggles and things that she's had as well. So, you know, it's not necessarily, you know, Jane, the fitness guru these days, who's sharing and inspiring people, you know, although there are people who get so caught up in the perfection of what they think, you know, health and, you know, vibrant living looks like. And that's not always the case. I honestly believe the God's raising up a group of ambassadors. They look like Rhonda. They look like Zakiya. They look like Ivy. They look like Beth. They look like people who are your everyday people to share this message, because there are too many of us perishing and dying unnecessarily because we don't know the knowledge. And so, and if you are someone who's in ministry and you are looking at your congregation constantly growing, because you can't tell me you don't see it, you know, there are programs, for instance, like Fresh Start, that's out there that can actually help with, you with getting people to wrap their mind around what the Word of God says about health and wellness. And I'm happy to talk to you. So you can go to my website at ZakiyaSKyles.com. That's ZakiyaSKyles.com. And you can go to, I forgot what it says up there. It probably says From Stuck to Start. And you can go there and read about Fresh Start, and I'll be happy to do a consultation with you and look at how we can get that program rolling and going in your particular church or in your community as well.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Great things that you shared, Zakiya. Something you said really interesting. Well, there's a couple things, but you reminded me of one of the scriptures that we share. This scripture, we were in a training, and somebody read the scripture, and I was like, oh, you know how like you read the Bible over and over again, and you're like, that was there. Yeah. It's 1 Corinthians 10:31, and it says, so whether you eat or drink or whatever you do it all for the glory of God, right? So the revelation that I got, and you and I talked about this with ministry, and I was on Facebook today, and not being judgmental, but I saw a pastor, I believe, or someone preaching a message, and over and over again, it just reminds me just of the purpose that we have, and if we're not able to do it in the body in which we live in, we are not going to get it done because we're just cutting it off. You can't breathe, you can't move, and all of that stuff. And so here, when I looked at this scripture, I got the revelation that God was telling us from the very beginning that we were going to have issues with food and drink, and it seems simplistic, like whatever you do, it's like even if you eat or drink, and that seems simple because it's just like, okay, you're just going to go eat and drink. But I just feel like he was saying that even if you eat and drink, do it to the glory of God, meaning don't go overboard, don't eat all these different things. Like right now, we're getting ready to come up against the holidays. And so we're getting ready to go into cold weather. It's supposed to be one of the coldest winters ever. And then we're going to be surrounded by what? Mashed potatoes, macaroni and cheese, and Thanksgiving and Christmas. And we come from, like you said, a background where we have all of this just different kind of food, but grease and all kinds of stuff going on. Yeah. So we have to just be mindful, and it takes the I'm like I said, I'm grateful that he would call us to such a place to just help educate people the more that you can. I think I said it to you, I feel empowered when I make a better decision. Yeah. When I go to different places and they're like, okay, well, you're not going to eat this, and I'm like, no, I don't have to eat that, and now they look at me like, she said no, she doesn't want that. And I was like, yeah, that's what I said, because that's not what I choose. And it's just because I make your decision is your decision, but I make the decision that's best for me today, for the dwelling. God has really dealt with me on the dwelling this year, that I live in my body, the dwelling in my house, because when he starts to clean up the body that you're living in, so he can cohabitate with you, then you start cleaning up the house that you live in, then you're cleaning up the people, the house, and the body of Christ. So it's just, for me, all the way around, he's doing a great thing.
Absolutely, because it's like when you clean up one area, you can't help but to want to clean up the other areas of your life. It's like they go hand in hand. And so, it's like I clean up, prime example, what has been happening for me over especially the last 2 years on my journey. And the journey never stops, FYI. It never stops. Once you may make your goal weight, but you have to keep at it in order to maintain that, Yesterday, I cleaned out stuff. I took like 3 bags of trash and a box, 2 boxes and 2 bags to the homeless shelter and stuff. And so as I was going through that, I found old pictures, and I found old letters and things from guys that I was dating, and was reading all of the emotional junk that was tied and associated with those. And I skimmed and read for a moment, but I immediately tore them up, because I didn't want to take myself back to those places. I didn't want to dwell on feelings and emotions and things from those places. I just thank God that particular season of my life was over, and that it was time to go. But it's in doing that, and as you and I talked on yesterday, talking about the clothes and things. If you're no longer wearing 26s, get rid of them. If you're no longer wearing those 24s, get rid of them. Just like now you were talking about, you may have something that you want to, something that you may want to hold on, for some sentimental reason or something. We talked about that. But if it is not serving a purpose of benefit, believe me, it could be benefiting somebody else too at that particular time. So, Mama, I don't know how you end up showing up here. You might need to mute, because it's not show you came back in again.
Yeah, you got it's two mamas. Yeah. Yeah, you know what, Zakiya, real fast. I just was when we was talking about getting rid of them and giving them to somebody else. My son opened up he had some gum today, and I think the question was, if someone gave you $1 million and you had to give it to somebody, who would you give it to? Now, I think the question, now this is how I think. He said, Mom, would you give it to, like, okay, I couldn't keep it, so would you give it to, your husband? Or would you give it to somebody in the family? No. My answer was no. I said, I think the question is geared towards what organization or people would you give it to? And immediately my answer was women that lived in a shelter, or that have been abused, or sex trafficking, somewhere that really needed it. And so when we even talk about stuff that we have in our house, it's the stuff that we have is the overabundance. You talked about minimizing.
Yes.
Yes, and there's people out here, like when we start worrying about what God wants us to worry about, He'll take care of our business. And there's people out here that we need to like stop holding on to stuff and making sure that, that they get the stuff. That there's people out here like that, or just somebody came up to my car today and asked me for 50 cents, and I was like, he really came up to my window, but I was like, here, and we need to just get rid of some of the stuff that we're just holding on to. You just made me think about that today. And it also shows where our heart is, and it also shows, kind of where we're called to and where God is calling us to help a certain people.
Absolutely. Are you there, Rhonda? Mama, you came back on again.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I totally agree. It's like we just sit up and hold on to these things that we really have no use for, And in many cases, those things that we're sometimes kind of holding on to are holding us back for some other things. And so I honestly believe, there's a process that happens with that. Is that when you release, that stuff that I released yesterday, I believe that there's going to be something else that I'm going to receive. And not that I'm looking for money, don't get that whole idea twisted, because people say, oh, I'm going to get a 24 harvest. And they're always talking about money. That ain't got nothing to do with money. I'm just looking at I'm looking at the standpoint. If I get favored with my boss for these reports I keep turning in late, that's that's Lord help me on that. But I look at it in that respect as well, because he not only gives us those tangible things, but there also if there's some peace that God may decide we're gonna rest your heart on some of this stuff right here. Or it could be anything of that sort, because the Bible informs us not to store our treasures here on earth, and the thing is, there's so many of us, we constantly trying to store and stack up and stock up here on earth, that we basically don't have any room internally or within our heart for Him, because we're too concerned about what we can consume here on earth. So I'm gonna leave that alone.
That's good stuff. Release and receive. And we talked about, I told Zakiya yesterday I had these pair of black pants. Everything else I've been getting rid of. I've been very fortunate in the whole weight loss journey, and it'll be 2 years in January. I know. And guess what? I'm finally, and I know people find it weird, like I'm really finally realizing that I took off that amount of weight. I put a picture up on Instagram, and I put a girl. I was looking for a girl that weighed 125 pounds, and I asked her to get on my back to represent the 125 that I lost, and I couldn't even believe that. That's a whole person that I was walking around with. Yeah. And still, I would say that it happened last week when I really settled into. It's a process. You and I talked about it. I really settled into, you did it. You did it because you're going through it. You're like, again, you're reading the book and playing the part at the same time. And you never want to be, because I did it before, and this is the transparent part. So it's very hard, and I think Zakiya talked about this, where God wants you to share, and you're not fully delivered. That's a message in itself. Like, God, you want me to go. Hello. You want me to go talk to these people about an area that I'm not even delivered fully in, and then all eyes are on you, and they're like, okay, there's people that think, are they going to just lose the weight? This is what one girl said to us, to my sister. Are they going to just lose all the weight and then they're going to stop helping everybody? Not at all, because we have to be able to like you said, maintain it. But it's just such a process that we're going through. And I have a pair of black pants that I wore. I told Zakiya, I wore these pants forever in a day because I couldn't fit anything else. These black pants would be folded. I couldn't button them, and they're not even black. They're really ashy pants because I washed them and I wore them, and I'm still holding on to those because they help me remember where I came from.
Yeah. That's sentimental. And so, you know, that retreat I told you I have this vision of doing. Hold on to them because you can come throw them in the fire.
Yes.
And come when we go to the Georgia mountains, okay?
I will. Well, that's the name of our group, Team Burn It Up, because we got to burn up some stuff. Yes. Not only, you know, I was thinking like we burn up the calories, we burn up the weight, but we burn up mindsets and everything. It's been truly a blessing. Tell us, Zakiya, because you are getting up at I see you early in the morning going to LA Fitness, everything. Tell us, this is Motivational Minutes. What motivates you to keep on going? Your why is huge. We have big whys, but your why has to be in full effect every day, because your why has to just take me to walk 4 miles before this phone call. So tell us about your what motivates you, you know, to go to the gym and to keep on moving.
I believe the bottom line with my why has to do with the rest of my life, which I honestly believe is going to be the best of my life. I really do. Amen. And I know full well that the best of my life cannot be fully realized and cannot be fully lived in this current state. And God knows not at the state I used to be originally. And so because there's a why and there's this motivation to get off, you know, as much medicine as I can, that keeps me focused and motivated, you know, and because I also realize that, you know, with working out, that there are certain perks to it, you know. For instance, you know, they talk about the endorphins and that are produced because of, which is a hormone that's produced, they call it the happy hormone, that's produced when we work out, and it keeps me balanced. It keeps me from snapping at people because I know who Kia and what she can do and what she's capable of. So I would prefer most of you all meet Zakiya and not Kia. And so that's another reason, you know, to work out. The other thing involved, I don't have kids of my own, but I really want to be able to, you know, deal with my how many is it of them now? It's 4 rambunctious nephews that I have, you know, and my niece who is she's 14 this month, but I want to be able to keep up and do things, you know, with them as well. And so my why is pretty, you know, lofty. It's huge. It has various layers, and I look forward to actually getting to the ultimate goal. You know, my actual goal weighs like 160 pounds, you know. But in all honesty, I will tell you, I will be 100 when I hit 180, okay?
That is awesome. Zakiya has shared so much with us tonight. We hope that you are motivated, inspired while we're doing the sticky note challenge. All of you that are on the call, if you are not, we can't see all of you, but not involved in the sticky note challenge, it is a very easy challenge to do. I didn't think, I found the picture, like I said, on Pinterest, and it was a whole conversation between the women in the group, and then we just started to, you know, I put things into motion, and we just started to move, and I really love it. So if you want more information on how to become a part of it, it's not too late, because I always say you can start today. And one of the things that God dealt with me in the very beginning of this journey was I had to walk. Really, if I can be totally honest, I've been talking about first-time obedience and how God will tell you to do something and you keep hearing it over and over again, and you just like, is that you, God? And he would just have me, you know, Rhonda, get up and walk, get up and walk, get up and walk. And I just would lay in the bed, and here I am, 329 pounds, and I'm like struggling. And one of the things that he dealt with me when I was on my weight loss journey was that you know, back in the day we used to say, we give God, what is it? We give God the glory. I'm saying that's not the words, for the activities of our limbs.
Yes, come on.
Right? And he said to me, I was at the park, and he's like, Rhonda, I didn't tell you that you needed the gym. I didn't tell you you needed all this equipment. I just need you to go and walk and talk to me. And that has been, I love to run now, but I couldn't run in the beginning. I love to go to the gym because I go do aqua Zumba. I love to do, like Zakiya said, I'm training for an obstacle course. It's November the 1st, called the Goliathon, and I'm trail running, and I'm going over logs, and I've never thought that I could do that before. So it has opened up this whole spectrum of people and opportunities that I am literally in the woods thanking God all the time. God, I thank you for this opportunity to be able to do this, because my body was not able to do this 2 years ago. But I didn't have, all he said was walk. And so we always open up the door to all of the people that we meet, even because there's older people, you know, there's the 60-year-old women, the 70-year-old women, who we want them to get moving, and all you have to do is just walk. It's just, you know, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, you know, 40 minutes here. Nothing big, a pair of sneakers, and we just want you to keep on walking. We've even, in the process of starting what's called Sneak Her a Sneaker. And where that came from was because me as a mom, and I'm walking with all these different women, and sometimes often we put our kids or circumstances before our fitness, and so we don't even have good sneakers to walk in, you know. And so we came up with this whole thing where we want to take applications where Zakiya say, you know, somebody that's really going through a hard time, but what would encourage her is if she got a pair of beautiful Nikes or beautiful sneakers, and then she started to go and walk on her journey. Because for me, there is deliverance in walking. When something is going on in my life, I got to go walk, and I just go walk it off, and I talk to God. And by the time I come back, walking is my therapy. My therapy that I don't pay for.
Right.
Except for my sneakers.
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah. Now, you actually have your challenge group that you have, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then is your challenge group open and available to other people to join?
Yes, so the challenge group, the group is called Team Burn It Up on Purpose. It's actually a support, it's twofold. So there's a support group, say you live in Georgia, and you can't get to us, that's just on Facebook. So we have all kind of challenges going on. Like right now we have the sticky note challenge. I did the white pants challenge just by myself because I was on a mission to get in these white pair of pants. On Sundays, once a month, what I just did the other day is we're doing DIY your recipe. So say you have a recipe, I'm just going to give you, for instance, greens. And back in the day, your mom used to put hog mugs and everything. Your whole DIY now is to take that same recipe, but now put healthier ingredients in there. And so that helps your family get to a healthier place. And that's just once a month. So we always have just different things. We work out together. We want to go into different states. But then the other piece of the group is the small group component, where like right now we meet in home. We want to talk about Made to Crave by Lisa Turkris. I want to mess up her name, Turkris. And how God wants us to seek, and we're supposed to crave, but crave after Him and not the food.
Right.
And yes,
that's a good series.
Yeah. So, because I you know, my heart is, this has been healing for me. I didn't know with going through the 12-step piece of weight loss and healing, that it was so much healing here, and I'm just glad that God, you know, took me this way, because it's forever. It's a process. And you know, I was asked the question, do you think that you've overcome it? I am an overcomer, but it is something that you are always overcoming. Absolutely. Because you're always dealing with sugar, you're always dealing with salt, and the truth is, food is the acceptable drug. We're not smoking weed, we're not, you know, doing drugs or whatever, but when things are bothering us, we have access to McDonald's for $1, you know, or, you know, around the corner I got a Wawa, I can go get a cupcake, stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, and you're like, okay. I told the story the other day. I used to come home and eat bowls of cereal because I just had stuff going on. You're stressed out, and you know that was my way. So now I just go walk instead.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, that's a good way, finding like those alternatives, like we talked about earlier, developing, you know, some better habits. You know, people talk about getting rid of the bad habits, and the focus really needs to be on developing better habits. You know, because that's what it is. The better habits are going to get you to where it is. But if you go in there trying to just, you know, ambush it all at one time, 9 times out of 10 it's going to be unsuccessful. Not that you can't do that. Most people just can't go cold turkey and do that. It's usually like step-by-step process. Wouldn't you agree, Rhonda?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. And most of all, when I think about even the cold turkey, I think you have to just get over. You got to get over that this is like this short-term fix. I'm going to lose 15 pounds. You know, everybody has this. I got 15, 20 pounds I'm going to lose, and I'm going to do it real fast. This is long. It's a lifestyle. Yeah. And not only that, one of the things that I've learned, sometimes, you know, when we go to church or we have different friends, that we can't be real with people. You really have to find somebody that you can talk to, that there's no judgment. Right. Where it's Zakiya, this is what I'm going through today. I just need to start it off. I don't need you to say nothing. I need you to listen. Otherwise, because this was my story, I don't want to eat over this. I just need to talk over it, and I need to just, you know, get it out of me, and so that I don't keep on going. And another thing that I do is I journal a lot. I find that very, very, very helpful, to just journal about what's going on, and you know, putting it on paper and just leaving it there, or ranting, or whatever you need to do just to you know, come up with a resolution. I say my journal helps me resolve, build, and create. So
yes. And to kind of to connect to what you're saying, one of the things that we're going to talk about this weekend at Fit Camp is going to be journaling. We're going to talk about writing and keeping up with things. Now, that's one of the things where I struggle. I'll do it real good, and then it's like I'm off, like the whole journaling on my food and things of that sort. Now, my workouts, yeah, I'm pretty good about writing those down, because to me, I love to see, and that's probably because what I feed off of the most, of seeing that progress in that book, you know, going from where, you know, you were doing, you know, 3 sets of 5 to now you have 3 sets of 20, you know, doing things like that. So those are things that I really enjoy doing that. And when we're talking about Fit Camp, this weekend from Stuck to Start, is going to hold Fit Camp at Kittredge Park. And so if you are in the Atlanta area, we'd love to have you join us. We'll have 3 people from the Fit crew who have partnered with us to actually help women who are looking for a jump start on their wellness to come out and to share. And so we're going to have Kevin Thornton, who is a part of, he does spin. He's called a spin master at LA Fitness here, and so he's going to do spin. And I actually took his class, and woo, yeah, child, he got that name, honestly. But he also does life coaching and personal training as well with women too, specializing in women who are not just women, but women who are morbidly obese. And then we'll also have Kimberly of Lipstick and Fit, and she's actually a fuller size sister who is in the midst of a journey as well. But I mean, when I say Kim be out there lifting them weights, and you know, she's actually has a goal to hit 200 pounds by the end of this year, and she says she's almost there. And so, you know, we share stuff with each other and root each other on. She'll be there, and then my own trainer, Stephen Heflin, he will be out there as well to kind of share, and he's going to talk about lifting weights. You know, because a lot of women want to lift weights, but you know, don't want to lift weights, but you know, what I find is that by lifting weights, it helps to create a shape, because I'm apple shaped by nature. And so by lifting weights, I would have, I believe I have more muscle now than I probably ever had in my entire life. But it's actually helped to make me look smaller than what the scale says. And so I'm all right with that all day long, So he's going to come and talk about weights, and we're going to do also some various exercise routines, and we're going to you're going to have a chance to connect with other women, possibly with an accountability partner, and we're looking at really doing this as a monthly opportunity to get people unstuck. And the first way of getting unstuck is to actually get and do something. And so if you are interested in going, I can you can hit me up on Facebook as Zakiya Kyles, or you can go to From Stuck to Start and look on our page, and we have information there as well. And we'd love to see you come out. The tickets are only $20, and you are getting this for less than the cost of one session with a trainer.
Yeah.
Because it costs, here in Atlanta, if you want a trainer, it costs more than $20. Let me tell you that. Yeah, it costs more than $20. So, hope to have you come out. We're going to start off the morning with some meditation and some affirmations and really some reflective study, and really just really talking about who God says we are, what God says about taking care of our mind and our body and our soul. And I'm excited about it as well. So I wish you were here, Rhonda, so you can come.
I know. I'm sitting here like I need a flight to Georgia.
Yes. Are we going to take any questions, Rhonda?
Well, you know what? I put in the group if anybody had any questions. So I didn't see anything yet. But we'll give it like another minute or so. I'll just talk it out. We thank Zakiya for just this awesome call of motivational minutes. We want to do more of these in the future, just to keep you motivated, because there's so many different things we can talk about even in a smaller setting, because weight loss is very big. I find that it is one of the things that we struggle with, our image. And one of the things I say is, God, that my image is just stellar. You got to declare that like every day over yourself. But we deal with just so many different things, and when we're dealing with other things, it just trickles down into our food. And it's always when we're around just different people and they're sharing, they're just dealing with a lot. So our mandate is to encourage you and just inspire you, and to give you the hope that you can make it, that you can keep on going. And even, I keep saying this week, the Bible says that a man falls down 7 times, but he gets back up. And we have to remember that I lived in shame and condemnation. Back in 2000, I was on this mission for the wrong reason, very hurt in a relationship, and I was like, oh, I'm going to lose this weight, and how dare you do this to me? And I took off 100 and some odd pounds, and then life just was a mess, and then I got hurt again, and then lived in guilt and shame because I put all that weight back on. It was so hard for me to put my head back up, because I know everybody was like, she lost it, we're so proud, she lost it. And then I was just like, I can't do this again. And now, like 10, 13 years later, just miserable, and had no other choice but to do it again, because I was just, at the door of, not at death's door, but, pretty close to a decision being made. Not that I was making it. Well, I was. But, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So we just always want to encourage you and motivate you, and hope that you were motivated during this Google Hangout, which was so fun and cool. And we knew it was going to be a blessing, especially when we went to test it yesterday, and Zakiya has the same picture up in her living room. I went to go get my husband. I was like, you're not going to believe this. We have the same picture.
There it is, right back there.
So we knew we had this like kindred thing going on, and just a blessing to have like we said, going through the journey at the same time in different states, but just even here to encourage one another. So if we don't have any questions, I know, Mom, you're on the phone. I just see you in the background smiling. But if you have any questions, because Kia has some a book and free coaching that Zakiya has. Yes, and we have a book as well as our T-shirts. We Simply Love to Walk T-shirts that will be out very, very soon. I Simply Love to Walk and I Simply Love to Run, because we have a conference called I Simply Love Her, which God called me to do even when there's another whole story when I wasn't even healed of some stuff 7 years ago. And that is about self-esteem, self-confidence, and self-love. And women from the tri-state area come, and we just have a day where you leave hubby or your spouse and your kids at home, and you come out and you go shopping, and we have speakers, and you're empowered, and you just have a day where you're poured into. But the message is I simply love her. And it's not just her. That her encompasses your sister, your prayer partner, your girlfriend, your mom, whoever that is, and whatever she's going through. Because, we have to love, God loves us and says, love your neighbors. And we have to love our girlfriends too, everything. Because sometimes we have that hateration. Like, she thinks she's so cute. Or like, she is at the gym again, and she thinks she's all that because, like, what she thinks she going to lose she going to lose all the weight. You got that stuff going on instead of you saying, Zakiya, can I catch a ride with you?
Right. Believe me, I want to share the love.
Yes. Hateration.
Right.
So we want to spread the love of I Simply Love Her, and that conference is coming up February the 28th of 2015. And
it's my birthday.
Oh my word. There is something else. Oh my gosh, we're born days apart. Oh my goodness.
When's your birthday, Rhonda?
March the 4th.
March the 4th. Okay, yeah, very close.
The only day of the year that demands a command, March 4th.
Yes.
So if we don't have any questions, which I don't see any in the chat, if there's anyone that has any questions, I know some people are watching us through YouTube, but maybe we can see if they'll ask some questions in the room. I mean, the event is still up on Facebook. Zakiya is on Facebook. Zakiya, you can give out your information once more so they can get in contact with you.
Okay. First of all, thank you, Rhonda, again for having this opportunity to share a motivational moment. It's truly been a blessing. One of the things I do want to share is that I am offering some health coaching for women who are looking to get started on their wellness journey. If you're looking for getting stuck, a good first step would be to work with a health coach. And so you can reach out to me at info@fromstucktostart.com, and that's info@fromstucktostart.com. Everything is a word, from to stucktostart.com. Or you can reach me on Facebook as well, because I connect with a lot of people there, and we can help you get there where you need to get to, starting with your food, because that food is a key component to getting done what needs to be done. Okay. Feel free to contact me there, or you can also be sure to go by and like the From Stuck to Start page, where daily we're sharing inspiration and motivation to help you live your best royal healthy life. And so again, I thank you, Rhonda, for this opportunity to come and share, and we should do this again.
We sure should. Thank you so much, Zakiya. I want to just tell you guys really fast, this will be up on our YouTube page, and we'll share the link with Zakiya too, so it'll, if you missed it or someone comes on and says, I missed it and I wanted to be there, it's on our YouTube page right now live, and that's Positive with Purpose on YouTube. But we'll share the link on our wall as well too. And you can find us at isimplyloveher.com, and our blog, positivewithpurpose.wordpress.com. And we have a lot of good things going on, and actually we're just redoing some stuff in the new year. So keep us in prayer, keep Zakiya in prayer from Stuck to Start. And then she has her event coming up this Saturday. We actually also had an event, but we are in the process of rescheduling it, so we'll keep you posted. We had Trade a Trainer coming out with us this week, but we just had in our community 3 people passed away, so we're going to have a lot of our group just at different services this week. So we're going to move some things around. But like we said, keep us in prayer as we are on this wellness journey, and as we encourage and inspire you all to just keep on moving. If you have any questions, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram. I love Instagram. I Simply Love Her at Instagram. I Simply Love Her on Twitter, and then Rhonda Hammond on Facebook, and Zakiya Kyles on Facebook.
Yes, and Instagram too.
All right, and so we're here if you have any questions. She has her program. We have our with our group, and just some other things that we're moving into in the next year. So thank you for joining us for this great Google Hangout. Hope that you were motivated and inspired and encouraged. Remember, you can still join us for the Sticky Note Challenge. It's the 12th day of the month, but you still have a whole bunch of days that you can get moving, and then we'll have some other stuff coming up, because we don't want you to fall off. I keep saying all your efforts that you did all year, we don't want you to fall off. So we have some just group workouts. We usually work out on Saturday morning together as a group to keep each other motivated. So you are welcome to join us on Facebook at Team Burn It Up on Purpose, and thank you all so much for being a part of this Google Hangout tonight. Have a great night. Zakiya, thank you.
Thank you. Have a great night.
Y'all sleep well. Thanks, Mama Kyles. Bye-bye. Oh, amen. I'm still taking pictures.